And welcome to Let 'Em Talk. I'm Paul DiRienzo. We have a very interesting show planned for you today. My guest is Michael Taylor, who you might have seen on the program preceding this, the conversation. And Michael is a regular here at MNN, and I decided to keep him on to talk about something he knows quite a lot about, and to commemorate what this week is Holocaust Remembrance Week. And on Thursday will be the actual day, Holocaust Remembrance Day, this coming Thursday, the 16th of April. And Michael Taylor was a soldier he'll talk more about it, the French resistance, fighting against the Nazi occupation of Germany, of France in the 1940s during the war. And this is a subject because the war is set. This year is 70 years. It's 70 years since the end of the war, and the last 5 years have been the 70th years. 70th year of the Manhattan Project, 70th year of D-Day, 70th year, of the Battle of the Bulge. Now we're coming this summer is going to be 70th year of the defeat of Germany, defeat of Japan, also the sad bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the 70th anniversary. So this is, I think, a good time to discuss World War II and what happened during World War II, because this is not an easily forgettable war, and nobody could ever forget it. It's still, I think, for generations since and for generations to come, if not centuries to come, it'll always be the war, right? It'll always define warfare, and maybe with nuclear weapons, there'll never be again a war of this magnitude, because in future wars where everybody went all out and would lead to nuclear holocaust of its own right, and the end of life on Earth itself. So World War II really is something that we should never forget, and we should study it very closely. And one of the key aspects of World War II that has to be at the top of any list was the Holocaust and the racial hatred that was generated by combatants during this war, and which was taken out against the non-combatants and civilians who died in numbers never seen before. And again has sort of heralded future wars, which might be much more, which would include nuclear weapons and these kind of things. I mean, this is where the whole idea of wiping out millions and millions and tens of millions of civilians really came to fruition. And in this day when I see so much racial hatred still around us and so much discrimination still in the world today, we really have to take a minute and think about this and really see what we're capable of, and what it took to what we could have done to stop it at the time, if it was possible to stop, and what we can do to prevent it from happening ever again, because this can never happen again. And when I see things like what happened with Eric Garner and other incidents, and I see that it's still with us, these hatreds, then I'm so happy that we have someone who can tell us what this kind of madness can lead to, the horrors that it can lead to. So thank you very much for joining us, Michael Shannon, for coming on Let Them Talk. And maybe my first question to you is, could the Holocaust have been prevented?
Yes.
How could we have prevented it?
Well, that's a long history. In the Bible, it said for 2,000 years, don't forget Jerusalem. When the temple were destroyed, then they evaporated the whole world. And a lot of Jews went to Spain, and there they were rich. They made the country rich, and Spain at that time was the strongest country in the world because of the Jews' economy, and the intelligence and everything. All of a sudden, Elizabeth, the King Elizabeth, thought the Jews progressing like that. She made a what do you call it?
When they threw they tossed them out of the country after.
Not this. They made a what the word is again?
Inquisition.
Inquisition,
Inquisition,
yeah.
right? And that was a
and
religious
torture the
yeah,
people.
right.
And that's the way they got rid of the Jews. Instead to go to Palestine, they went to other countries, to Poland, to Russia, and suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So that time, if the Jews would have gone to Palestine and have a Jewish state, the Holocaust would not exist. Because when we have a state, they will never allow something like that.
So do you think that Jewish people, by living in Germany, were more easily victimized?
Yes.
Right. But Germany, on the surface, and in defense of the people who decided to live there hundreds of years before, was the height of civilization and culture of its day. It was as shocking, I think it was shocking to the people there. And when I talked to people who escaped from Germany, who were lucky enough to escape, they all, it amazes me that over and over again I hear the story of, we just didn't see it coming. How is that you were in German, you were in Poland at the time?
Yes,
right?
At that time. Yeah. No, I was, 1922 I was born in Poland. 2 years later, there was a pogrom. Then we moved to Brussels.
What was a pogrom? What's a pogrom?
A pogrom is killing the Jews. Just like that. They can go to the house and kill them. And the government will doesn't
stop it. No police.
They themselves, the government themselves is also anti-Semitic. The whole Poland was anti-Semitic.
And so you were a young child.
A young child, that's 2 years old, with my sister 1 year old, and my parents left to the train to Brussels. Mm-hmm. This is the capital of Belgium. Mm-hmm. There it was more free. The Jews, there were 100,000 Jews in Belgium. And it was a good life, very little anti-Semitic. Mm-hmm. But in 1940, all of a sudden, they were neutral. Belgium and Holland and Luxembourg were neutral. They didn't have no connection with anybody. And all of a sudden, the Germany attacked without announcing war.
Surprise attack.
Surprising attack. And we had 2 days only to be able to evacuate.
By this time you knew, your family knew, and you knew what was going on in Germany,
yes,
right? You were aware what Hitler represented.
The way I heard on the radio, the way I saw him talking, that he wants to kill all the Jews, wipe out the whole Jews, children, babies, and everything.
This is what the leader of the attacking country is saying on the radio.
Openly, he said openly like that. And people didn't take this seriously. I took seriously.
Mm-hmm. You were at that time about 18 years old, right?
No, I was 16.
16.
Yeah.
And you took it. Why did you take it seriously? What?
Because.
And I know this all throughout the history. Some people took it seriously, and others didn't.
You know.
Why? What was that?
Because I'll tell you, Zev Jabotinsky, he was the leader of the Jews, and he saw coming to tragedy, and the people were living good, and here he comes and says, you have to leave and go to Palestine because they're going to kill you.
Why didn't you go to Palestine at that point?
Well, my parents didn't want to.
I see. Oh, so you were like the radical kid, the Zionist kid who was saying, let's go to Israel. And your parents say, oh, you're crazy. You're just another elite, another idealistic young boy, you know.
Right, yeah. Because people didn't believe it. You will do that.
Yeah.
And it came out.
They thought it was just talk.
Yeah, just talk, yeah.
Right. Nobody believes that anymore.
And in this belief that I had, believing Jabotinsky in the way we warned in advance. By the way, he died early because of the aggravation of the Jews.
The aggravation. He was aggravated to death before he couldn't live to see it.
Yes.
Right. So you were in Belgium and you had 2 days to get out. Where did you go?
Well, we took the train to southern France, near Toulouse.
Okay.
And it was still fighting. And some Polish officers escaped from Poland, came to France. He wanted to make a legion. Mm-hmm. And I was born in Poland. Uh-huh. And I don't know Polish yet at all. Right. So I have to go. Right. So we went there, and mostly was Jews. Right. And the officer was an anti-Semitic. He hated Jews, so he tortured us.
So that's interesting. So you could have people who were, you could actually be in the same military with other anti-Semitic people, but you just had the similar enemy, right?
Right. I want to be in the French army, not in the Polish army. Okay. All of a sudden it shows up.
What was the root of Polish anti-Semitism? Why were the Polish many of the
Polish is recognized one of the worst hated Jews in the world.
Right. At the same time, there was some support and help during the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising.
Yes,
there was.
But at the end, in 1945,
44 or something.
44, yeah.
Yeah. And towards the end, there was some realization.
Yeah.
We're in the same boat together.
They could have done it before, but you know.
So the war really changed the world, didn't it? It changed how people looked at the people. The Earth that existed in 1939 was a lot different from the one in 1945.
Of course, yeah.
Right. And it's never going to be the same.
No, because Russia lost 30 million
in Russia.
From Russia, civilian with military.
Right. Hard to believe.
We lost. The Jewish people lost 6 million Jews. And 1.5 million little children, babies, were killed. Means there's all a half a population of the Jews were wiped out.
We were talking earlier, what kind of person could, I keep coming back to and a lot of people throughout history have said, the land that gave us Hess and Beethoven and in Austria was music, Mozart and all the great culture of the world, great philosophers, great philosophies of life. A country that was not a slave-owning country in its history, that opposed American slavery, right? And in many ways, even today, is a very progressive country in the world in world affairs. Yet, how could people go? Did they go mad, or was it
jealousy?
Jealousy.
Yeah. They see the Jews progressing. In Berlin was the Jewish Jewish police
chief,
commander.
Right? The commander of the police was Jewish of Berlin.
Right. And the big heroes were the Jews also during the war. Mm-hmm. A lot were killed in the war.
Right. But I heard, I don't know if this is true, that even during the war there were Jews in the German army who...
Oh, yeah. No,
not in the army. No, that's not true.
No, they killed...
They rooted them out. There weren't any who just kept their German citizenship and snuck in.
The Jews, some were assimilated. Uh-huh. They were Catholic and this and that. And they took away.
Right.
They took for 2-3 generations back. If somebody had a Jewish family, they were taken.
I see. So they would actually search back into their history of their family.
They want the pure blood.
Mm-hmm.
Not
pure blood, whatever that
blood.
means.
Not Jewish blood mixed in.
Right. What was behind that? What drove that kind of
jealousy?
Jealousy.
Jealousy, because because they were smart people, those Jews. The Ten Commandments and the things that learn how to live right, the Bible and everything. So other people don't have that. They don't know.
They weren't as well organized.
Yeah. So, and for instance, my family were poor.
Mm-hmm.
When you come on Saturday, we didn't work, and we sang.
On Saturday, on Shabbat.
So we heard sing. They said, "Oh, they're rich."
I see. So it was
Simple
also a certain amount of ignorance of the culture and the customs,
yes,
right? And a feeling that they're hiding something from us. You would hear that in anti-Semitic thinking. Somehow there's something secret going on in that synagogue in the basement that we don't know about, right? We should know about.
No, they know what the religious Jews.
I grew up in Yonkers, so I was in many synagogues.
The jealousy.
Yeah, right.
The jealousy.
Yeah.
In the school, you see the Jewish children learning better than the others.
Right, and so instead of learning and saying, what are they doing right, that I can emulate maybe, I study hard, think about books, have books in the house, don't be an alcoholic, these kind of things. Instead, it was like, let's get rid of them.
Right. The biggest doctors in the world were the German Jews.
Mm-hmm. And we have the hospitals here in New York to prove it, right?
Yeah. And they killed them because they were a Jew.
Mm-hmm. So at their own... Well, they did many, they got rid of Einstein. And
as a matter of fact, the Gestapo or the SS men wanted they respect them. Even he was a Jew, right?
Oh, I see.
But the helpers was Nazi. They were jealous.
I see. So the lower
because
level.
I have no attention to them, only to...
Wow. So do you see, is this been overcome in humanity, or do you still see these kind of things?
Oh, yes, still. Take Europe. Mm-hmm. Without the Jews, they'll be dead.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a proud man who's proud, right?
Yeah.
And he's proud of his history, and he's proud of the achievements, and is never going to forget, right? No. Never going to forget. So, and I'm glad you're here to remind us, because a lot of people have forgotten.
Jewish people is a lovely people. They love children. They love families.
Absolutely.
And they don't mix up the wrong affairs. They just they want to leave. That's all.
So let's talk about the fight back, because the rumor has always been, why didn't the Jews fight back? But they did fight back, didn't they?
Yes.
Tell us about how they
fought back.
All right. Tell me how you fought back.
Well, I was 2 years in the camp in France when France was capitulated. So
it capitulated.
Capitulated.
Right. It was invaded by the Germans. It capitulated.
Yes, we were in southern France. It was the Vichy. Mm-hmm. Marcel Pétain was the government.
Right.
And the north of
a sellout government, a puppet government.
Was German soldiers.
Yeah.
But the real commander, was the Germans, who commanded the Vichy what to do. He said right away, take all the Jews and put them in the concentration camps. That's what they did. I was 2 years there. And it was in the Spanish border, Pyrenees. And the Spanish Republicans were also, when they lost the war, the Republicans came to France and they were taken in the camp.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and Gypsy also.
So gypsies, Jews, gypsies, communists and Republicans from Spain.
Yeah, communists.
The whole group.
Whole group.
All in the camp.
In the camp, yeah.
Okay, and what did you do?
As a matter of fact, when Hitler had the power, he took all the communists first in the concentration camp.
Even before the Jews.
Before the Jews.
Right. They were first. He didn't like them, right? Well, they fought pretty hard in 1929, right?
Yeah.
They gave him a hard time coming to power. He might not have come to power if they were a little stronger.
Yeah.
Right, very interesting. And it was the unfortunately, the right-wing veterans of the First World War who gave
Yeah.
the muscle, really, to the Nazis in those early days. And I think that American veterans would not fall for that.
No.
They wouldn't. They're much more free-thinking and would
Yeah.
never allow themselves to be used in that way. I would hope.
Yeah.
Cross my fingers. I think they'll be with the people.
I took a little longer to
Yeah,
get
right.
in.
A little more free thinking in the United States, and not
Yeah.
always doing what the commander says,
Yes.
to the word. So that's it. So how did you got it? You must have got out of that camp. 'Cause
Yes.
we're sitting here together,
Right.
70 years later. So you got the hell out of that camp, right?
Okay. The first 1 year they took the Spanish family, the whole Spanish, to Auschwitz. Then they took the Gypsy, also to Auschwitz. All that.
To be killed.
Yeah. Then 2 years, and the 2 years, it was our time to go.
Okay.
But they say you was going to work in Germany. But I knew it's not work in Germany, it's going to.
Right.
So I escaped. I was the only one who escaped. I left my parents and my sister.
How did you escape?
Well, I just escaped. I knew how to escape because I myself escaped 50 people from the concentration camp.
I see.
So I knew the way to get out.
I see. But
Yeah.
you kept. Why did you keep coming back to the concentration camp? I would have left and never be seen again.
No, but I had my parents.
Right. And you wanted to come back to be
sure,
with
I
them?
bought bread and this and that and something.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the end, I knew that they're going. The people didn't know. They just believed they're going to work. And there was time for me to run away.
Right. And you never believed that. You just knew. You had a sense of real
A sense of reality.
Yeah.
And then I come to another village, and there they need people to work on the field. So I resisted. So a Frenchman and I have to go to the field to work. And between when we were walking, he said in Paris, the German officer came in, he wanted to rape my wife, and I killed him. He talked like that to me. So he asked me, that's why he escaped. They asked me, what condition do you have? What did you do? Say, I don't like the Germans, that's why. Oh, no, it's not enough. He looked at me straight, are you a Jew? I was stuck. I say, yes. And we were good cameras, lovely. So he said, I am in danger with you.
He killed a German, and he was in danger with you because you were a Jew, right? He'd rather kill a soldier, right? So you were hot, we say in English.
Yeah.
You were
so
hot.
He kissed me, he said goodbye, and good luck.
Oh no! But you did have good luck. You caught up with the French underground at some point, right?
Yes. Then
they came to you, or you went to them? Did they come to you, or did you find them?
I find them. Yeah. When they were taking also the people from volunteer we work, so I escaped again. So I went to Lyon. I took a train. I want to go to Lyon, maybe in Switzerland. I can go. So the station, it was a small station before Lyon. As I stopped the train. And the police asked me papers, the French police, and I didn't have no papers. So I told me, get down, stay with the group there. Hundreds of Jews there waiting. And And then I see 20 little children were taken away too. And the police were laughing. Oh, we've got a big deal. So hard, so harsh they were.
Heartless.
Yeah, heartless. And I was enraged. And the train was not far from the stop. When I saw the train start to move, and one of the police, a big fellow, strong, I went up, and he was on my way. I pushed him, and he lost the balance, and I jumped on the train. When he recuperated, he saw me on the train, far away, say, come back, and I saw the fist, I'm going to get you. I was the only one among the 1,000 Jews taken away to Auschwitz.
And you're here to tell us the story about it because of that 75 years later. It's amazing.
Then,
yes.
When I came to Lyon, I met, in Lyon was the Belgian Jews. They were well good situation, but it's not concentration camp, but guarded. And I had a friend there who I know them, and I told him the history, what happened. He couldn't believe it.
That you escaped. You had the courage to escape.
So he said, go to the French rabbi, maybe he can help you. So I went to the French rabbi, and they had 9 little children hidden because the parents were killed and this and that, you know. And I told him about the history. Said, well, I don't have no room for you. Come tomorrow morning back.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was the beginning of your career as a fighter. For freedom.
So I went around and I met a Rabbi Galante, and I told this story. You see the filter? I'm going there to hide myself. And I'll tell you the story.
Okay, we have to go. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us this story.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
And then the next day, morning, I came there. All were taken. One night, 1,000 of Jews from hospital, took from hospital.
Thank you.
And those people have families. When they come home, they love children, right? How can you love
the
children
Nazis, you're saying, the people
and they kill little babies with innocent? I can understand that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's it.
Very good interview.